You're listening to The Local Guy Makes It Happen podcast, the show that celebrates business owners, entrepreneurs, and more on the South Shore of Massachusetts, with your host, Patrick O'Donnell, local real estate broker and owner of I Buy Houses. Our podcast dives into the stories behind the storefronts, exploring how local businesses got their start, who they serve, and what keeps them thriving in our vibrant communities.
Today I am proud to have Barry Eldershaw. Hey Barry.
Hey Pat, how are you?
Good, thanks. And Barry is from Mario's Roofing and Siding and much, much more. So Barry, tell us who you are and what you do.
So my name is Barry Eldershaw. I'm a project specialist with Mario's quality roofing, siding, windows and doors. We also do decks and masonry. My job, Pat, is when a homeowner is in distress and they call into the company, whether it be a leaking roof or siding blowing off their home or drafty windows, etc. We set up an appointment. I personally set up the appointment myself to come and see them at a convenient time that works for them.
Sure.
Go and sit down and sit at our kitchen table first and foremost and listen to their concerns and you know, what they think that they may need, because it's not always what they may need, what they think. And then we walk around and we make an assessment of the house and take a look at everything and come up with a solution to fix their problem.
Okay.
Basically, we're like a house doctor.
So do you do the local area? Do you do South Shore? Do you do North Shore? What's the radius that you guys do?
We go all the way up to the border of New Hampshire.
Okay.
We're going to be opening up a new office in Sudbury, so we're hitting that Metro West location.
Got it.
We do Rhode Island and we
Okay.
do Cape and the Islands. So we're pretty much all of Massachusetts. We do Western Mass also.
Okay.
We just haven't ventured into New Hampshire yet, so
So the company's growing.
it's growing, yes,
Okay.
slowly and steadily,
Okay.
at a good pace that's controllable.
All right, great. So let me ask you this here. You're going out, I would imagine most of the calls are for the roof, because that's usually when people call you, because there's water coming inside the house. But it's not necessarily the roof all the time, right?
That's correct. Many occasions I've gone out and people will have water coming in where a smaller roof might meet a knee wall or a side wall of a home. And, you know, there's probably a good 2 out of 10 times I will locate that it's coming through a window
Right.
that's not been sealed up correctly, or through siding that is starting to come away from the home.
Sure.
And maybe the underneath roof, the lower roof may not have been flashed in correctly to the siding. So it's not always the roof.
Do you know, I've heard that so many times. If the flashing is not put down, and flashing doesn't cost a lot of money, but it might be one of the most important things, right?
Flashing and underlayments are the two most important
Right.
things on a roof.
Yeah, because that can ruin, you could put on a very expensive shingle on a roof, but if you don't have that correct underlayment and flashing, it's no good, right?
It's no good. It's no good. I mean, shingles are porous. Nobody knows that. It's made for water to run off all day long.
Okay.
But in our 100 degrees temperature swing we get here, we do get a lot of ice dams when we do have snow, which means water pools on the roofs. And shingles, like I said, are porous. Water can seep through, so the underlayment is what protects the home more so than the shingle.
I remember, I think it was that really bad winter, 2014, 2015, I think it was then.
Yes, it was.
With all those ice dams. And that was crazy. I saw the ice coming off and breaking windows.
True. Yes.
So, my goodness.
And you know what has happened there is people wait and don't be proactive about taking care of their roof, and it's usually they're the ones that have the problems when that happens.
The other question, how long does it normally take? So you go out on the job, you meet with the people, you discuss the price after you measured it, right?
Correct.
And whatever type of, so 2 questions I would have for you. What are the different types of shingles you can use? What is the lifespan on them?
So most of the shingles these days carry a 50-year warranty.
50 years?
50-year warranty.
Oh, wow.
Now again, having all the right components in place, the correct underlayments, the correct sheathing protection, the correct flashings done,
Okay.
all of the penetrations to be flashed in with correct pipe boots and chimney flashing done correctly are very important components.
Okay.
These all add a little bit of cost onto the job, but we keep it very affordable for the homeowners to do the project. So you have everything from a basic shingle to a designer shingle.
Okay.
Designer shingles, some of the benefits, we use Certainty, which is a great product, been around for a long time.
Okay.
They have their Northgate, which is their top echelon of shingle. What you can do with the shingle is you can install it in colder weather.
Okay.
So often roof leaks happen during colder times.
Right.
And installing a lesser shingle may not bond and seal the roof correctly.
Okay.
So you could still be open to the elements. So it's important that the right shingle is picked for you at an affordable cost,
Okay.
and all the correct underlayments to give you the real manufacturer warranty, which is what you're looking for.
And this is something I know for myself. When I see a blue house with brown shingles, it kind of like that there. Do you have different colors of shingles that they can?
We do.
Would you recommend sometimes, or is that the person's preference for whatever color shingle?
Yes, so there is a design component to my job where
Okay.
I sit down, especially with siding and roofing, depending on what they've already done on the home. I try to bring that whole complete picture together so it carries that curb appeal.
Got it.
But at the end of the day, the homeowner makes the decisions. They're the ones that arrive home in that driveway every day, and they're the ones that have to look at it. So I can advise, but I don't push, and
Yes.
just guide them along the
Yeah,
way.
yeah. It's kind of like painters. You think you've picked the best color in the world, and they've seen it all. They've seen
Correct.
the pinks, they've seen the lime greens, and they kind of shake their heads. Whatever floats your boat.
Exactly.
All right.
Exactly.
Now the other thing is, how long would the typical roof take to remove the shingles and then put down the new ones? How long does that normally take?
So it's amazing to see the crews in action. They're a well-oiled machine. Most of them take no more than a day. One day.
Right.
Now you will have probably about 12 to 14 people working on the site.
Well,
You'll have 2 people that are constantly cleaning up the debris as it's rolling down the
Yes.
tarp that's fastened to the roof line.
okay.
And as the stripping is going on, guys are coming right behind with ice and water shield and the underlayments to seal up. So we always want to make sure that the roof is watertight at all times, because you
Yeah.
never know what can blow over in New
Sure,
England as far as
sure.
weather.
Or you're halfway through it and a foot of snow comes, then what do you do? Right.
We know where we live, right?
My God. You know, it could happen at
Yeah.
any time. You know, now, how do the people pay you? Do you have financing options? How does that work, Barry?
It's a great question. One of the things I love about Steve Goldson, our owner, has always been very fair with our homeowners. He came from nothing like most people.
Okay.
So we always wanted to make it affordable for homeowners and
Okay.
let them feel like they're in the driving seat all the way till the end.
Okay.
So we at Mario's only take a 10% deposit if you are paying out of pocket down
Very fair, very fair.
until the job is complete, and that
Okay.
doesn't matter how large the job is.
Okay.
It could be $150,000 all full rehab of a house, and we still run that system. Now we also offer financing. We can work with anybody's budget.
Okay.
Make it affordable for them. You can pay some out of pocket. You can take advantage of some of our nice financing packages.
Sure.
We're going to be introducing 12 months no interest, no payments, which
Okay.
is free money.
I like that.
It's coming on February 1st, so we can work with everybody's budget, including yours.
Right. So that's key, folks, right there, especially putting down 10%. A lot of contracting companies will charge you 30-40% down, but we're talking 10% here, which is great, because not a lot of people have X amount of money on the side.
Exactly.
And they find it hard. Now you've got you can finance that there for 12 months for 0% financing. That's great. So if you get a bit of tax money coming in at the end of the year, right, there you go, you can take care of that.
Exactly.
So no, that's great.
And we do have ones that we can spread it over 5, 10, 15 years, where you have a
Okay.
small monthly payment of 12 months. It can be a tight squeeze for some people who have a lot of things going on in their life.
True.
You can do a small monthly payment,
Okay.
and there's no prepayment penalty, so
Okay.
you can pay it off as quickly as you choose.
Because a lot of people think forever they get this magic number of what a roof's going to cost in their head, and they will. A lot of times I've seen it. I'm a real estate agent myself, and when I'm out there, they've caused so much damage to the boards underneath, all the shingles and all the rest, that now that's when things can add up, because they think whatever it's going to cost me $40,000-$50,000 to put a roof on. I can't afford that right now. But sometimes you can go out, like you say, and it might be a minor problem that they weren't aware of. It could be a quick fix, send one of your guys out there. That's good business, right?
Exactly. And even in the case of, there's times that we're in it to just become your contractor of choice for whenever you need us. So I'm not there just to take your roof right away. I'm there to try and do what's affordable to you and build a reputation and a relationship. Okay. And if and when you need that time, we will be there for you to take care of you. Okay. But like you mentioned, it can, waiting on a roof can cause more damage. It can cause damage within the walls. It can cause mold. So sometimes, you have to just say to the homeowner, it's time.
Sure.
And we take the honest approach every time, because we're not going anywhere. Right,
sure. No, great reputation, been around since 2005, and their head office is right there in Stoughton. So tell me about, I'm going to bring this up first, because the price of paint that used to be $20 a can, right? 7-8 years ago is now $60 a can. So painting your house around, you got to do it a lot in New England, is an expensive job now. And vinyl siding, in my opinion, is the way to go. You can hit it with a hose. It's easy to go on. And again, it's not as expensive as a lot of people think.
Correct.
If you paint your house 2 or 3 times over a 12-year period, I'm pretty sure the cheaper way to go about it is vinyl siding.
It is, exactly. Initially, it's an expense up front, but it does save you a ton of money down the road, because you probably end up doing it regardless.
Right.
So you've spent the money on trying to do the upkeep, and then when everybody gets tired of that, and then they end up going to the more reliable option, like a vinyl siding or James Hardy fiber cement siding.
Sure.
So initially it's an expense, but it's an investment. It's a smart investment.
Yes.
That's how you have to look at it.
Yeah. So I renovate homes, as well as being a real estate agent. I renovate homes. As you see, I buy houses here, and from basically December 1st around here in New England to May 1st, you can't paint the house, right?
Correct.
So I can't wait around for that property to be done. So I automatically go right to the vinyl siding, and I was actually pretty amazed that it was a lot less for me. Now, I've been doing this here for a long time, but it was a lot less than I initially thought.
Correct.
And I tell you, it's a superior job. It looks like a new home when you're done.
It sure does. It sure does. Now, there are many different levels of siding that you can purchase. I always, advise homeowners, don't go with the cheaper siding, because it doesn't hold up. You don't need to pay for the most expensive.
Might fade in the sun. Right.
Yes, there's a lot of them that don't have a good color warranty, where it will fade a lot, especially darker colors, which we're more prone to now in New England. That colonial finish color look.
Yes.
So it is important to select the right siding, do your research on the siding. In this day and age, homeowners have the internet; it's there to be used. But we will always advise homeowners, we use quality products all the time, because we warranty the job once it's complete.
Sure.
So we don't want to have to be coming back. We want you to be happy, and then we get lots of other properties on the street as well.
So the same thing with the siding. How long would a siding job take? And with the siding, can you go right over what's there, or does it depend?
So a lot of contractors do go over the existing siding.
Okay.
But homeowners don't realise that the manufacturer warranty clearly states that you must clear all siding off the house before you install your siding, if you want the manufactured warranty.
Oh, wow.
So the right way to do it is to remove the siding, because if you're going to spend 20-30 grand on new siding for your home, you want to know what's underneath there in case something's going to fail down the road. So why cover up over something when you have the opportunity to make sure everything's in good standing? Sure.
Sounds like putting a new tire on a bad rim.
Exactly. Perfect. That's a good good way of looking at it.
Well, that's great. So is there? Let me see. any tips that you would say for people getting siding done on their house, roofing done? Is it better to do one before the other? Because I know you do windows and decks as well. So would you put the new windows in before you put the siding? How does that work?
Well, so we'll start with roofs.
Yes.
If you're going to be doing a roofing and a siding job, I mean, the roof is always your number one layer of protection for your home. It's your biggest investment in your life.
Okay.
You've got to protect what's underneath it. So the roof is the most important component. Everybody tends to swing more towards the siding because you see more siding than you do roof on a house. But realistically, you can put new siding on your home, and if the roof fails, you could end up replacing your siding.
Sure.
So you start at the top and work your way down.
Sure.
Windows, it will depend on what you want to do. So there is replacement windows and there's new construction windows. Replacement windows are inserts where we just take off the extension jambs and we fit them in the existing opening. But if you want to do you want to insulate around the windows, you have to do new construction. That means taking off the siding around the windows and the window casings, replacing interior and exterior casings, but it gives you a much better finish. So it really depends on what the homeowner's thinking of doing. Obviously drafts are 35% of your heat loss goes out through your old windows. So if it's something that you can't do the siding at the same time, you can most certainly do inserts, which are great, and then figure out how we're going to insulate it when the siding is getting done.
Sure, but the windows are certainly, I live in an older home myself, and sometimes I can even, when I'm walking upstairs, I can feel the air coming in inside my home, and all I hear is the furnace going on, cha-ching, cha-ching, the door, things like that there. So it's important, right?
It's very important, and you know, again, everybody, we're all looking at the bottom line dollar, but it's the smart investment, and over time, new windows, new siding, new roofs, they pay for themselves.
Sure.
Because of the insulation value and the protective value that you get.
Okay, so we're going to get to the best part now. Is we've got the roof, we've got the siding, we've got the windows. Summertime in the decks. Tell me how you guys do your decks. What type of decks you do. Tell us a little bit about
Sure.
that.
So we are. We like to use TimberTech. We're TimberTech certified, which is the composite decking that everybody is using nowadays.
Yeah.
You know, people, especially in New England, as you said, with the weather pattern, the freeze, the snow, the ice, it really rips up all the paint on the surface of the deck. And it expands in the cracks of the wood, so therefore you get a lot of rot in New England, more so in other parts of the country. We do offer pressure-treated decks, which are the slightly more affordable product. But with that comes maintenance and staining and painting.
It does, yes.
And over a couple of years, maybe 4 or 5 years, you've already spent the money you would have spent on a composite deck. So the smart way to do it is doing a composite deck, which comes in a variety of colours and styles.
Sure.
Absolutely beautiful decks.
Yeah.
And you know, if you're going to do a composite deck, we suggest that you do knock the old and rebuild, because you're putting a product that's carrying a 25-year warranty, and you want to put it onto new framing, not older framing that may fail. So
makes sense.
Look, we try to advise everybody. We do try to work within everybody's budget, but we do take the honest approach and advise people as to what we think they should do, and we give them their options, and the rest is up to them. But composite is the way to go.
You just don't want to see your barbecue folks falling through. You know, your deck, you don't want that when you're ready for your steak.
Exactly.
But I know what you're saying there too. I have an older home myself, and it's a mahogany deck, and I love it. But I'll tell you, it costs me a lot of money.
Right.
It costs every 2 years. I am getting that refinished, and you know, it's not that big. It's maybe, I don't know, 12 by 12. Still costs me $1,000 every time.
That's right.
Every time, and I've been in the home for 12 or 13 or 14 years now, and I've probably done that 4 times.
Right.
And it's cost me $4 or $5,000, where if I had a bit the bullet in the beginning and done it the other way, because you can get the Trex deck that looks like mahogany, right?
You can, and I think that's the design, especially when you have an older home, a Victorian, a colonial. People tend to want to stick with the wood because it looks better with the home.
Right.
But they do have products now that actually can mimic that wood style, but in a composite and a more reliable product that you don't have to take care of. Just a little hose, get rid of the pollen in the summer, and you're good to go.
Okay. Well, that's great. So, Barry, where can people get a hold of you? How can they get a hold of you? And what's the best way best way for them to do that?
So, I mean, obviously my cell phone would be, you can call me direct. I'm more than happy to have a chat with you regarding your situation that you might want us to take a look at. I can set up an appointment at that time. My cell phone number is 781-408-2186. And my direct email is BELDERSHAW. So that's Beldershaw@mariosroofing.com. More than happy to come out and take a look, even if you think it's something small. Let's just get ahead of it. Let me be your advisory committee on your home, and I'll tell you what you should and shouldn't do, and what what's more important and how to go about it.
So I have one last question for you, Barry. You go out there, you get the job done and everything. Let's say someone has a problem with the roof and it's 2 years down the road. What do they do?
They would reach out to the company directly. We carry every manufactured product that we install on a home. We give you a full manufacturer warranty. So that's a real warranty, folks. So that's not just something written on a piece of paper. You actually get a warranty certificate from the manufacturer once we register your project when it's complete. So you would reach out to us directly. We will come right out, take care of the situation. If it's as long as it's a workmanship or a product problem, you don't pay another penny. It's all covered under the warranty.
All right. Great. Well, thanks very much, Barry. It's a pleasure having you in here.
Thank you very much, Pat.
Be careful on those roofs.
Absolutely.